Hey everyone, today we're going to do something a little different but very important. We're going to take a break from cooking to talk about cleaning because unfortunately one leads to the other whether you like it or not. Yes, I know, I hate cleaning too, but that is why we gotta talk about this because the more efficiently we clean, the better, the more enjoyable the cooking, right? So today I'm gonna share with you 5 of my kitchen tips to help minimize the amount of cleaning that you have to do. But because there are obviously more than 5 things you can do, I have partnered up with Melissa Maker from Clean My Space, and she's gonna give us even more tips. So Melissa is the queen of cleaning on YouTube. She's also authored this fantastic guidebook on cleaning called Clean My Space. So she's going to give us 5 tips on how you can clean as you go, which I know we can all do a bit more of, right? So don't forget to check out that video after this, but for now, let's get started. The first tip I have is cold water rinse. Now, the default mode for most of us is to have dirty dishes, throw them in the sink, and put some hot water on it, right? Well, that doesn't work for everything. If you've got dough, for example, hot water will actually cook the bits of dough that's on your bowl right onto the bowl, then it's even harder to get off. What you want to do then is soak the bowl in some cold water, which will dissolve the flour. Come cleanup time, it'll come off super easy. If you're in a hurry, you don't have time to soak, scrape it off with a rubber spatula, right? And that will prevent the dough from getting stuck into like these little scrubby things. If you've got ground meat, say from making burgers or meatballs or whatever, give it a rinse first with cold water, get off all the meat, especially if you use the food processor. Now you've got ground meat stuck in like the nooks and crannies of the food processor. Once you cook that on with hot water, it's impossible to get off. Lastly, little bits of cheese left from grating and whatnot, scrape that into the garbage first. If that makes it into your sink, you hit it with hot water, the cheese melts, now you've got gooey, cheesy mess that's getting in your brushes and your sponges. It's a nightmare. Listen, I love a big, beautiful wooden cutting board as much as the next chef. It's beautiful and I use this on the show. But let me tell you a secret, when I'm at home and I gotta cook a lot, I don't use this because it's a pain to clean, especially if you gotta like wash the boards in between multiple times. This is what I use. Ta-da! Thin, flexible cutting mats. So the great thing about this is once you dirty one, you just change out another one. And they usually are sold in sets too. And the good thing is because they take up almost no space, you can just slip it in the side of your sink, the dirty one, or just put it on the side of your dishwasher and they take almost no room in the dishwasher. But because these are so light and thin, you're gonna wanna stabilize it with a wet paper towel underneath so it doesn't move around. Or you can get one that comes with a stabilizing platform like this. Ooh. So the way this works is you just put a board on it and the grooves hold it in place, which is super useful. Oh, and the cool thing about this guy is these boards all store right in here. I know it might be second nature to just throw everything you produce into the sink, but you'll be surprised how many of those dishes don't actually need to be washed. They just need a good rinse with hot water. So things like a measuring cup you use for sugar or flour, a bowl you use for your vegetables. And so what I do is I keep a space on the counter designated for those types of dishes, right? And as I use them, I just throw them in there. Comes dishwashing time, give them a good rinse with hot water, and you are good to go. This next tip, when I learned about it, it changed my life. I mean, ever try to get oyster sauce or honey or things that are thick and sticky out of a measuring cup or measuring spoon? Impossible, right? You're now like scraping it off with something else. Now you've got 2 dirty things instead of 1, or you're like sitting there banging everything, it's splattering everywhere. Here's what you do. You grease your measuring cup or spoon either with a non-stick spray, or if you don't have one, just put a little oil in it and swirl it around, and then it'll slide out like a dream. And now you will actually get 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce as opposed to 1 tablespoon minus whatever you couldn't get out of the spoon, right? And also put it in a squeeze bottle. And this applies for all thick and sticky things. This will save so much time, and this glugging business, this has just got to stop. And finally, plan your chopping. Organization is everything. And I really had to learn this when I worked in a catering company when we had to cut a whole bunch of different things quickly. So if you've got a bunch of things to cut and they don't need to be cut in any particular order, you want to start first with the cleanest ingredients. So anything that's not getting cooked, like salad vegetables or fresh fruit, you want to cut that first when the board is absolutely pristine, okay? Because remember, if it's not getting cooked, the bacteria on it is not getting killed. Then when you're done that, you can move on to sort of dirtier, messier vegetables like onions, where you're gonna get flakes of skin everywhere and you're gonna get that gooey white sap on the board. And then raw meat, you want to leave that till the end, because once raw meat touches your board, it has got to go. So if you plan accordingly, you won't have to wash your cutting board unnecessarily in between. And that is it from me. If you've got more cleaning tips to share, please share them with us. We could all use more cleaning tips, right? And don't forget to check out the other half of this video over at Melissa's channel. The link to that will be in the description below as always. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and please take a look around. We do educational and fun cooking videos on this channel, lots of Thai food, but also a lot more. And you can also hang out with me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Hot Thai Kitchen. And I will see you next time.